Welcome to Vetted Conversations, where we delve into the foundations, workings, and current challenges facing our American experiment. In today's confusing world, it's more important than ever to understand what keeps our nation strong and how we, as patriotic citizens, can actively participate.
Our mission is to ensure that you, the listener, gain the knowledge and insights alongside us, your veteran and military family member hosts, to become more informed and engaged citizens.
In a world of partisan noise, we lead with a bias of patriotism, cutting through the static with clarity, insight, and action. Join us as we learn together and help equip you with the tools to protect and preserve what matters most, our shared American ideals. So let's get into it.
This is Anil Nathan with Military 250. I have the pleasure of being joined by NFL legend Daryl Johnston. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
So we'd love to start maybe just what brings you to New Orleans this week.
This week on Radio Row is going to be the UFL. So we're gonna launch our spring season here on March 28th with a home opener on Friday night on Fox.
Amazing.
With St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Houston Roughnecks, and we're back at TD-ECU Stadium on the University of Houston campus. So a great night for us to kick off. We just announced last week opening up our headquarters, official headquarters in Arlington. So it's been amazing to watch the growth of the two leagues over the last couple of years, and then the merger last year coming together.
Yeah.
And then, just for us, going back to year one and how challenging it was, and to walk into that facility and know that this is going to be the headquarters for the league moving forward.
That's amazing. Yeah, so UFL, I mean, obviously give a little bit of the history of how that started and where it's headed over the next kind of few years.
Yeah, absolutely. So it, for a number of years, people have been trying to crack the code on spring football. My first venture into it was 2019 with the Alliance of American Football, and great football people there. Bill Polian was kind of running the football side. Charlie Ebersol was running the business side. And that one failed seven weeks in. The next attempt was Legacy XFL in 2020, probably the victim of COVID. More than anything, but again, when you've got one person, one group, one company paying all the bills, it's very expensive to prop up a league. So when we started Legacy USFL, Fox was our parent company, and you need somebody that has deep pockets or commitment to football, and Fox has really built their entire network around the NFL. So they've done this before, and the CEO, Eric Shanks, is very excited and a huge advocate of spring football. He really wants to be somebody that demonstrates that this is viable and it's something that's sustainable moving forward. So we got ahead of the XFL by launching in 2022. The XFL came out in 2023. And then we were going to be competing against each other. And it's so hard for one league to win. One of us was going to fall short.
Sure.
So we had a merger last year, came together, solidified the spring football platform. And now we're heading into season 2 with the UFL, and have a number of really good success stories in the NFL. Brandon Aubrey, the kicker for the Dallas Cowboys, comes through our spring football platform.
Awesome.
Jake Bates, Cavante Turpin, Dan Whelan with Green Bay, Dondre Tillman with the Broncos last year. Jalen Redmond was a starter as a defensive lineman for the Minnesota Vikings last season. So we're showing that not only is it good football to watch, but it's also an opportunity for our players to have another shot or another way to get back into the NFL.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you feel like the saddest part of the year is the period between the Super Bowl and when, the preseason kicks off again. And so to have football in between there is a nice little compliment.
It's going to be a sad Monday. It is, right? You're going to hopefully watch another great Super Bowl. We've had some great ones here the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And this one should be good. It was 38-35 last time they played in Super Bowl 2 years ago. So, yeah, a great game on Sunday. But then, you wake up Monday morning, you're like, oh, it's been a while before we got football again.
Exactly.
Not too long.
There you go. So maybe, I know Clint was kind of the connection here. Clint Mason brought you over. And obviously, Clint, a military veteran, obviously an NFL veteran as well. And, our organization, Military 250, is all about bringing the veteran and military family community to the forefront, celebrating the birthday of the Army, the Marine Corps, and the Navy this year. It's the 250th birthday. And so, any connections that you have family-wise to the military or friends that that served?
Yeah, for us, where I grew up, the military was one of the options after high school. College was, obviously one of the options that you had, but really for us it was the trades, it was military, and then probably college at the time. Being from a rural area, the military was a huge component. My uncle was in World War II in the Pacific Theater on 2 boats that were sunk in Midway. His brother was one of the first people into Hiroshima after they dropped the bomb. My dad was a Marine for 4 years. My best friend in high school is a retired Navy SEAL for 30 years. When we get into our high school chat, we've got another guy who was in the Navy for 12 years. So for us, the military has always been a huge thing. So I have the utmost respect. I think what our country really needs is an adjustment as to who the real heroes are that our kids need to look up to. And we look up to entertainers and athletes when we need to be looking up to teachers and military and the people that really have an impact on everybody's lives day to day. We're not just entertaining people, we're actually protecting people or helping people. And I think that that's one of the big adjustments that we really need to kind of work on as kids are growing up, and just show them, because they're going to come across entertainers and athletes on their own. So it's up to us to be able to introduce them to people from the military, people from first responders, people that are teachers, the important people in their life. And one of the proudest things that I ever had is, my son one time, had to do an essay on a topic. You get to pick your topic, but, somebody that's underappreciated in your life. And he talked about, the janitorial industry, from making sure the schools were all clean and doing everything like that. And for him to kind of think about something that was kind of way down in the weeds, that he felt was integral to kind of the day-to-day function in life was really interesting. So just to get the kids to think at a little bit deeper level as to what are the important things in life, who are the important people in your life that may go unnoticed.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of what ties together what you just said about who are the heroes in our communities, in our country, it all revolves around service, right? The people who are dedicating their lives or some part of their lives to serving their community, serving their country. And for us, this campaign is all about trying to reinvigorate that sense of service, whether you're a veteran and you don't have to wear the uniform to serve again, right? There's so many opportunities to serve your communities and engage and be a leader out front, like you're talking about, kind of get more exposure to a lot of the generation that may not have exposure to the military or understand how important it is to serve, but also to citizens across the country. There are many actions you can take that are very small, which can go a long way to not just making our community stronger, but also, individually making connections with people that you might not otherwise connect with, and ultimately strengthening our country as a whole, because we firmly believe there's more that unites us than divides us. And we just need more people to engage on that front.
Yeah, and people who have never served before do not get the reward that comes back to you personally. And I think that is one of the things that until you do it, you don't understand that component. But it's not just you providing for somebody else, because that is reciprocated directly back to you. And most of the time when you talk to people, the experience was more beneficial for them than it was for the person they were trying to help.
100%. Yeah, I think that's the spirit of for a lot of us who have served. I think it's all about what you're giving, and then also what you're receiving. That sense of pride, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of mission, which we're hoping to inspire more folks to find again in their life after service.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us. Before we end, I got to ask, what your take on the game is on Sunday and how you're seeing it play out.
I'm in one of those fortunate positions where I can just sit back and watch the game. It's not that I have somebody I want to win. It's really I don't care who loses, because I'll be able to find a good reason for either. I don't want Kansas City to win 3 in a row, because we won 3 in 4 years, and we were the first team to do that. So if they do win 3 in a row and become the first team to do that, then we get kind of knocked down the ladder of accomplishment, which I'll be selfish. I'm going to be upfront. I'm very selfish about that one. Philadelphia is just hard for a Dallas Cowboy to cheer for the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think I'm going to. And just kind of looking at some of the numbers and everything, I think Philadelphia is going to win by 10. I think we've had a number of close games here the last few years. I think that this one, there may be some dramatics and some tension at the end, but Philadelphia will be in control. And the most important thing is, if you're going to beat Kansas City, and this is why I'm kind of going with that 10-point margin of victory, you better be at 2 possessions with 5 minutes to go in the game, because Patrick Mahomes will come and get you.
He'll find it.
So I really do see Philadelphia being able to establish the run, keep Patrick on the sideline. Saquon has the big game this time. He gets the MVP of the Super Bowl, and Philadelphia wins by 10.
Bold prediction. Awesome. Well,
And probably completely wrong.
So for the UFL, where can people find information, or when is the season kicking off?
UFL first game is Friday night, March 28th. Part of the package that Fox has put in place, college football on Friday nights, college basketball on Friday nights. They're going to roll that right into spring football and do spring football on Friday nights. So it's going to be St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Houston Roughnecks on Friday night, March 28th. I think 74% of our games this year will be on either Fox or ABC. So the big networks are going to carry them. If not, it'll be FS1 and ESPN.
Fantastic. Well, looking forward to it.
And Birmingham, the Birmingham Stallions, are actually going for their 4th consecutive spring football championship.
All right, there's a record.
The Chiefs they haven't even reached the level of football success that the UFL has had.
Love it. Moose, thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.